know about that. Anyway, hey, Mr. Brown Show. Hope everything's going well with everyone. Um, it's a Friday, and it's a little quiet in the background because I got a email from YouTube, and it said something to the effect that copyright protected material was detected in my content, and they said because of that, he blocked it. And it says copyright content has been detected in your video, the Mr. Brown Show. As a result, your video can no longer be monetized and has been blocked in one territory. Copyright owner may be either monetizing it or receiving analytics about it in other territories. This is not a copyright strike and does not affect your channel. So, one place, only one. Well, I'm shocked. But you know what, folks? That's only one, and that one territory, I guess, just loses out. It's no big deal. I have changed my voice. I'm gonna change my mic because I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna just go ahead and put it in as if I was in a meeting, and then I'm gonna go ahead and so you hear a difference now, and it comes through a little bit more as if I'm in a I guess a dance hall. Today is Friday. What day is it today? The what is it? 16, 15? I don't know. Doesn't matter. I don't report to anybody. But anyway, hope everyone's having a great Friday. Has had a great week. It has and the week is over for some. Some people didn't have work today, so the week is over, and they're starting their weekend. And for others, you're getting ready to start your weekend. So welcome. Hope you're having a great time. Listen, again with this social media craziness that's going on. Um, do you think it should be regulated by the government? Like materials like mines or anyone else puts something on, do you think it should be regulated by them? Do you think that we should have some type of I don't know safeguards? What do you think? What do you believe? Yeah, I'm gonna put some on there for you. Some Herbie. I'm gonna say his whole name because I'm gonna get in trouble if I say this guy's name. But you know what? Who cares? Herbie Hancock, y'all. Chameleon. Um, what do you think? Do you think that because of the what you see on Instagram or you see on mainly on Instagram and TikTok? Stop. Let me get out of there. Not TikTok. TikTok is actually designed for people to really act up. I mean, it's really designed for people to get on there and just totally, as the young folks say, turn up. Celebrate, do this, do that. Some cases you actually get some instruction. You're actually getting someone giving instructions on some type of matter, some type of material, some type of situation, and it can be very helpful. And we were talking about Chat GBT, about how we would put things in, type things in, and how Chat GBT would just write out, say for example, a paper, and you will even put it into parameters 5 pages, double space, point 0.5 or point 0.8, 8 font, maybe 12. Normally, if I'm doing a paper, it's got to be a 3.5 page paper. I'm doing it in 12 font. I know that seems like a lot, huh? Well, normally the normal fonts that you're typing is in 11. So, but anyway, Chat GPT, you go in there and you type up anything you want, and it'll give it back to you. But we were talking about how some schools have gotten slick because most of the stuff that Chat GPT puts out, because it's AI, it's not copyright protected. So they're not grabbing, they may be grabbing a reference from a certain text or book or a certain journal, and then they will definitely cite it. But for the most part, you've got artificial intelligence writing your paper for you, and it's not copyright protected. So what people are doing is what schools are doing is they have a way, they're allowing students to come in and physically take their paper, because you have to now you do have to physically take the paper, or I think in this case electronically submit it to a Dropbox, and in the Dropbox teachers are able to see what you wrote, but not only see what you, excuse me, not only see what you wrote, but what is similar and what has been written before in other papers. In other words, as if you copy someone else's paper or something of that nature. If there's any type of cited um, material that you did not cite on your paper, they're able to see that too. So that's where they're snagging. But the actual paper coming from ChatGPT or other AI media, um, you're free to turn in. If you're in law school and you're trying to write a briefing or write a legal paper of sorts, I'd be really careful, because one, it's a completely different format. Two, it may not cite the way you want it to cite, because when you get into law school, you got to cite a legal paper or a legal letter. You better have some citations of some cases, and those cases they better be pretty accurate. In other words, you better shepherdize those cases. And those people who are in the legal field, paralegal field, know what I mean by when I say shepherdize. And you definitely have that media available to shepherdize a case, to check the points, to check the validity, and check to see if it's good law or bad law. That's basically, in a nutshell, that's what shepherdizing is meant for those, without getting too technical, for those who are not in the legal field. I was a paralegal for a while, so that's why I say that. But yeah, so you get in there, you write your paper, and you turn it in. And one of my son, my youngest, said, "Yeah, ChatGPT is for cheating." I said, "Boy, what do you mean?" He says, "Yeah, it's for cheating. I shouldn't put this out there." And technically, I won't, because there's a lot of students out there all across the land, in high school and in college, using this thing. So, and it's going to be up to academic boards and committees to re-examine the validity and the quality of what they're getting when their students turn in papers. If it's actually coming from their mouths. Not only from their mouths, but if it's coming from their minds. So I was looking at something earlier today. I was talking to my son, and we were driving, and I was telling him about, when you talk to someone, or when someone takes the time out to think they're explaining something to you, and you already kind of know it. And this goes for everybody, basically. This happens to everyone. Either someone is going to say, "I know that," "Yeah, I know that," "Yeah," or "Hey, I know that," or it's just. And we were talking about something earlier about tone and delivery. And if you say, "Oh, I know that man," hey, who you think you're talking to? Who you think you're talking to? I know this. Something like that. That's the tone and the attitude. You want to check that, especially if you're in the South. Like technically in the South. We're in North Carolina. People are really, 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 really sticklers on tone here. You could tell somebody "fuck you," and they'll say, "Oh, yeah, thank you." And then you can tell somebody "fuck you," and they're ready to lay you down. Depends on the tone and the delivery and the attitude that you deliver it. So I told him, I said, "Look, when somebody's taking the time to explain something to you, just take a moment and just listen and realize that that person's in their minds trying to assist or either trying call themselves trying to help you, and they don't know that you know what they're trying to explain to you. They don't realize you already know that. So you can either say in a nice way, "Thank you for trying to explain, but I was already aware of that." Or you could probably just go ahead and say, "You've got a little time on your hands." It's okay. Well, if they took the time out of their busy schedule to explain to me, then I can just sit here and say, "All right, listen," which you already know it, and at the end you say, "Thank you so very much for that information." Do it either or. It depends on how much time you got on your hands. It's Mr. Brown Show. Shout out to BroncoIRadio.com, where every second of the day an artist is live. BroncoRadio.com. We are proud to be. The new saying for Fayetteville State University is, "Are you in?" I was checking my emails from the school yesterday, and the question is, the motto is, "Are you in?" And then at the top of when my login, it shows my name and it says, "You are in." Right after my name, it says, "You are in." So they got that new motto going on for them. That's okay. You get in trouble with that, depending on how you deliver it. Again, tone and delivery. So you gotta be careful, especially if you're talking about women. You're talking with a female is present. Someone told a joke a long time when I was in the service, and it was a female. She told the joke, and it had the words "Are you in it?" And she was just describing she was describing the scenario of people at an office and in an office environment, and she was, well, anyway, you got a little bit of a chuckle, but I'm not going to go into it because I'm not going to get in trouble on this. But yeah, you got to be careful with those words. Again, shout out to Fayetteville State University, upcoming freshman class of 2028. Am I right? Am I wrong? Okay. I mean, don't jump down my throat. I'm only a third grade. I'm only a third grade graduate. But shout out to those guys who are getting ready to start their academic careers as freshmen. Those who are returning, my fellow veterans, juniors, sophomores, juniors, and seniors, but mainly to the veterans because there's a strong veteran, military affiliated presence at Fayetteville State University, if you didn't know that. because you're in Fayetteville, you're right there, backyard of Fort Liberty, formerly Fort Bragg, Army types, you know. I say that because I was a Marine. But, big shout out to those guys. So we're going back into this and we're saying when someone is telling you something or takes the time to tell you something, they don't know. They just think they're trying to help you. Just go ahead and take it. You know? If somebody is trying to explain something to you and they sound like a fool in their way of explaining it, here's what you do. You have two ears. You can accept what you hear or you can reject what you hear. What you can do is any fool can give good advice. Always know that. Any fool can give good advice. I'm an example of that. So, if you're hearing this or you're hearing something from someone and they're just sounding like a fool, this is what you do. Listen anyway. And somewhere along the line, they're going to say something that you're going to catch. It's going to be beneficial to you. Something's going to come out of their mouth. Maybe a word, maybe, I don't know, a sentence. It's going to be beneficial to you. Take that and just throw the rest of that crap out your head. But be nice about it. Be nice about it. Be nice to each other. Definitely. It's Mr. Brown Show. I see that Ray Gun, what's the girl's name? Rachel Gunn from Australia, has come out with not an apology, but an explanation of sorts, saying this is how, this is how it came about. I guess she didn't even give an explanation on how it came about her getting on the Olympic team, but she talked about being on the team and participating. She didn't say how much of an honor it was to represent Australia, but she did say that in actuality for breakdancing, which was the first debut of that event, that art, it's not a sport. Um, there were no scores. I mean, they don't score. They don't get points. They gave points there. They did it basically so the audience can have an idea, the viewing audience, but they don't go by points. Like, oh, okay, so you got zero. Okay, so that means everybody else got zero. No, it means that they got some type of evaluation based off of their performance, and but it wasn't by mnemonic point system. So I said, okay, or numeric. Excuse me, I said mnemonic, numeric point system. So I was okay, fine. You still sucked. You hear that, Rachel Gunn? You still sucked. I'm sorry to be mean. I saw another thing about words, how harsh words can be to somebody and how they hurt. You're right, they do. You're absolutely correct. You gotta be careful how you talk to people and what you say to them, how their feelings are. And to Ray Gun, you still suck. But anyway, um, her 15 minutes of fame is about to run out. She was talking about how she's now getting her friends and her family are being harassed based off of what she did. I'm sorry. I am really sorry that that's happened. I really am. And I really hope that this all subsides soon. But if you keep putting your face on the place and getting out there and talking about this, and people keep showing you little stupid video that you did during the competition, you're gonna get some feedback. Keep getting feedback. So guess what, honey? I'm sorry. Just gonna tough it out. Longer than those 37 minutes it took for you to prepare for that event. It's Mr. Brown Show. So we got Dr. John, wrong place. Right time, wrong place. Came out in 1967. I was 7 years old. It's the Mr. Brown Show. Thank you for tuning. I appreciate any type of feedback, negative, constructive, whatever your intellect can exhume. Let me know. And I'll do my best to try to correct it. Thank you for joining. Thank you definitely for tuning in. It's Mr. Brown Show.
Down the street, see my light shaking with every who I meet.